Hello everyone.
Hello，大家好，欢迎来到小叶老刘带你读这个节目。上一期呢，也是第一期，我们一起读了《战争与和平》的第一段。那么今天呢，我们继续。
Okay, yeah, so we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. And, turn off the images there for them.
No?
Yeah, so we can focus here.
Okay.
All right, we're going to turn ourselves off over here. Okay. We're gonna. So if you remember last time, Danny, what words were we focused on last time? You remember what words were kind of hard to think about?
The words?
Yeah.
I think it's warm you
Uh-huh.
and what the relationship between the speaker and the prince.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And maybe know some background.
Uh-huh. So I think that I spent a lot of time talking about just here.
Yeah.
So that was a very we spent quite a lot of time talking about that. And the other day I was thinking about that word, and so suppose I'll give you an example I thought about, right? So sometimes say we have a young boy, right? And he was able to save a man from drowning, right? You know, somebody fell down, and the boy saved this man, right? He pulled him out of the water and helped him to breathe, whatever, right? So sometimes we say, oh, somebody saved this man, right? And it was just a boy.
It was just a boy.
Just a boy who saved it, right? So the justice is kind of the same idea here. It was, the or maybe another way say, yeah. So it was the guy who said he was just a boy, meaning that it's kind of like saying, it wasn't. It's kind of impressive, right? In this case, and just a boy means like we were expecting somebody who was bigger, maybe adult, right?
Yeah.
But it was just a boy who saved it. Meaning the just means like kind of saying something about the fact that, it's kind of impressive that it was just a boy, kind of saying it's no more, it wasn't anybody bigger. It wasn't somebody like you're expecting kind of larger or whatever who can do this, kind of somebody muscular or whatever. It's just a boy. It was just a young person who did this. So that's kind of like the same idea of just.
Well, maybe the people who say just a boy, maybe they are very surprised. It's just a boy to save the person's life. So in this sentence, maybe the speaker think, oh, it's so the speaker cannot believe these two places
Just became family state.
Yeah,
That's right. Yep, good.
Okay. We continue.
So now we're finally gonna figure out who's talking. All right?
And Frankie will read aloud, and I will follow.
It was in July 1805, and again, this is nobody speaking, so it's a narrator, right? So we can have
this is the third people, the author,
the narrator.
the writer explain.
Not necessarily the writer, because it's a narrator. It can be anybody, right?
旁白.
It was in July 1805.
It was in July 1805.
And the speaker was the well-known Anna Pavlovna Scherer.
And the speaker was the well-known Anna Pavlovna Scherer. Pavlovna Scherer.
Maid of honor and favorite of the Empress Maria Fedorovna.
Maid of honor and favorite of the Empress Maria Fedorovna.
Right. With these words, she greeted Prince Vasily Kuragin.
With these words, she greeted Prince Vasily Kuragin,
a man of high rank and importance, who was the first to arrive at her reception.
A man of high rank and importance, who was the first to arrive at her reception.
Anna Pavlovna had had a cough for some days.
Anna Pavlovna had had a cough for some days.
She was, as she said, suffering from la grippe.
She was, as she said, suffering from la grippe.
Grippe being then a new word for St. Petersburg.
Grippe being then a new word in Petersburg.
In St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
Used only by the elite.
Used only by the elite.
Right, okay. So,
okay.
So this is the first time when the author in this case let us know when things happened, okay? So it tells us kind of the setting, right? So what is the setting?
The setting?
Uh-huh.
What does setting mean?
Setting means like where do you think the story is taking place, where it happened, and so forth.
Oh. So they give the time is 1805, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the speaker whose name is Anna.
Right. So that's not part of the setting, right? The setting just tells you like where things happen and when, but that's fine. So now we found out who was talking just now.
Oh, Anna was talking to the prince.
Right. So why did it say well known?
Where?
Well known.
Oh, well known.
Yeah.
That means she's very. Maybe she's very important, and a lot of people know her.
Not necessarily important, but just well known, right?
Well known means famous.
Not necessarily famous, just well known.
Well known means what?
People know about you.
People know her.
People know her, right? Well known. At least they know her name. Maybe she has many connections or has many friends or whatever, right? So she's well known.
Okay.
And her name is Anna Pavlovna Scher. So now you note like Anna Pavlovna is also called something else later, right? What is it called?
They called. I don't know.
Yes, Anna Pavlovna, right? You see that? See, it's actually here we get her full name, right? But it seems like when the author wants to talk about this person, she calls that person Anna Pavlovna.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So what the maid mean? Maid is the
Maid of honor.
maid of honor and the favorite.
Well, the maid of honor is kind of like when you marry someone. Is you have normally your bride and the groom, right? There's two people who marry, and then you have your best man who is like the best friend of the groom, and then you have the maid of honor who is kind of like the friend of the bride.
伴娘伴郎
So she happens to be the maid of honor for the Empress
Empress
Maria.
那个宫女的意思。
Yeah, so
They serve the empress, right?
not serve. They're maid of honor. It says. It doesn't say about serving.
So the empress, the favorite of the empress means she's the person. The empress thinks she's how to say, very helpful, very.
No, it doesn't mean any of that.
But favorite of the empress.
Favorite doesn't
she's
mean
the
that.
person who is the empress' favorite person,
Yeah.
right?
Normally we use favorite for things like we love, for example, right?
Oh, the
Or
empress
things
love
like this is my
her.
favorite food, right?
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
So
this means the empress might love her, right? Think she really do a good job, maybe.
I don't think it's anything about job. It's just favorite, right? I don't have to have like this. This is my favorite dress, or this is my favorite shoes, right? It doesn't mean that.
So she normally she will serve the empress.
Why do you say serve? They may be friends. Why do you
No,
use
I
serve?
don't think friends.
How do you get that?
Because the empress is
Just because somebody's high doesn't mean they don't have friends, right?
for my opinion, it just means
No, it doesn't have to be.
she is her
I don't think
slaver.
so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it says anything like that. Anyway, with these words, she greeted Prince. So now we know who they're talking about. The prince, and the prince's full name is Vasily Kuragin, And what do we know about Prince Kuragan?
So it's man of high rank
Right.
and importance.
Yes. And what else?
And he first arrived her reception. Reception means party.
No, not really party. I already said that it's kind of more. It's more like a gathering of friends. It is not a party. Right?
Okay. And we continue.
No, what's okay? Well, why did they mention that he was the first to arrive?
Huh?
Why does it say that he was the first to arrive? What does
just
it make you think about this person? What kind of person is a prince? If I was going to ask you,
what kind of person?
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't say a lot about the prince. Just say
Well, I
he's
said
a
some
high
things.
high rank.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. We know that one. Anything
Importance.
else?
And he arrived to her reception first.
Yeah. What? So what does it say about the prince?
I think maybe the prince is Anne's best friend because he arrived first.
Right. At least it could be. Well, it could be many things, right? Yes, it could be that he is her, maybe one of her best friends.
Yeah.
It could be the type of person he is. He's never late to going somewhere.
Maybe.
He want and because like receptions when you go to your friend's place, not necessarily you want to be the first, right? Because you have many people arriving.
If you're not familiar with the person, you will feel not very comfortable if you arrive at first time.
Maybe, but
if I were invited by some friends, I will not want to become the first one.
Why not?
Because if I'm the first one, I will feel if we are not best friends, I will feel weird. I will feel not very comfortable. They will feel comfortable. They will feel strange. Why you come the first? You're not my best friend. What do you want to do?
Okay, maybe that's you, right? But yeah, but it's kind of interesting that he mentioned that he was the first to come, right?
Yeah, first to come.
And
now
what do we find out? What do we find out about Anna herself?
Anna had a cough.
Yeah, we know that.
So had means he
already had it, right? It's already
finished.
Now
she's recovered.
Oh well, no, it could be that she still has it. It could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Oh.
But most likely it's already finished.
Okay, so she was, as she said, suffering from la grippe.
Yeah, but
la grippe
why?
is French words.
Yes, it's a French word.
So as she said, this weird. As she said means maybe it's not true. Just she said.
It could
suffering from
it could be,
grippe.
but I don't think that's what it means.
What does it mean?
It means that she was really coughing. That's what he says already. Anna had a cough, right? But they're just trying to say that's how she wants to say she had a cough. She doesn't say, "Oh, I had a cough." She's saying, "I have la grippe."
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So if you say she was suffering from la grippe, it's the truth. Maybe the third people will think like that. But they say she was, as she said, suffering from la grippe. Just she really want other people know. She really want other people know she's suffering from a la grippe, right? For on her side, her want everybody know her suffer from a la grippe.
La grippe? No, I don't think that's what it means. I think it just means like this is how she wants to talk about her own condition. That's there are many ways to say like I am suffering from a cold or whatever. I feel bad or whatever. Right? There are many ways to say I have a cold, but here.
Oh, she want to use this French word to show, maybe because at that time French is more powerful country.
Yeah, maybe.
So she might think, oh,
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so the new word. So they display a new word. Maybe not so many people know.
No, it's
the
a new
word.
word. Yeah, for sure. It's a new word coming from France. Yeah.
A new word in this is the place.
Right. So now we know the setting. I ask you the setting. The other setting is probably in St. Petersburg.
Petersburg is where they live now.
I think so because they gave you the time already, right?
The 1805.
Yes.
Oh, use only by elite.
Right.
Is it? Am I correct?
Elite.
Elite. Oh, the words only the elite people will use it. So the normal people probably will not know the word, right? The la grippe.
Well, or maybe it doesn't mean anything to them. Yeah.
Okay, so now we finish this paragraph. what we
What
can we find more on this paragraph, you think? We know the two people, the speaker whose name is Anna, she is kind of like to, I think she like to show off herself. And another person, the princess, didn't say a lot, but she is the high rank and important person, and he was the first to arrive her reception.
So you continue a bit, or all her invitations, without exception, written in French and delivered by a scarlet-livered footman that morning, ran as follows.
All her invitations, without exception, written in French, and delivered by a scarlet-livered footman that morning, ran as follows. So there's some words. They describe the delivery.
This describes the footman himself.
The footman is the what does
this means that he's wearing stuff with scarlet.
Scarlet? What does scarlet mean?
Scarlet, just a color, like kind of like a purple, deep purple kind of thing.
And livered?
Just the clothing that the person was wearing.
A type of clothes?
No, just in general, the clothing. Scarlet is just like what he was wearing, right? It's not special clothes.
It's very special clothes?
It's not special. It just means like clothing that he was wearing. Scarlet clothing.
Scarlet clothing.
Yeah.
Footman.
Yeah.
Then they deliver the news by foot.
No.
Not ride a horse.
No, that's not what it means. It's
What
just
does footman mean?
Footman is just a kind of like a servant for her.
A servant?
Yeah.
Oh, that morning, right? So in this sentence, all invitations without exception, written in French. What do you want to talk more about this? Why written in French? This should written in Russian, right?
Well, so she made it be written in French, and right, yeah. So I think it's just saying that she chose it to be written in French.
Okay.
And then what it's saying, well, that's interesting because is this the right? This is
what they say, right?
One of what it says, right? If you have nothing better to do.
If you have nothing better to do,
Count or prince.
Count or prince.
And if the prospect of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too terrible.
If the prospect of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too terrible.
I shall be very charmed to see you tonight between 7 and 10.
I shall be very charmed to see you tonight between 7 and 10.
Annette sure.
So
okay, so this is her message that she wrote everyone. Yeah. Okay. So what's interesting about her message? Tell me about it.
I feel it's like Chinese person because
no, okay, fine. We talk about reception, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean her tone like the person who is very 谦虚. What do you say?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
谦虚 means because they say so with a poor invalid, right? So if you have nothing better to do, so she show herself very.
Okay, let me ask you something. This is a invitation, okay?
Yeah.
So does it say what you invited to do?
They didn't say.
Right. It doesn't say anything about what you invited to do,
They
right?
just say if you have nothing better to do, you just come.
Right. So what do you think a reception is like then?
Just for fun.
Fun? Where'd you get the fun idea?
Because they didn't say the topic.
So why'd you say fun?
They didn't say. Then you have nothing to do, right? Because you say you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, but that doesn't say you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, but just say if you have nothing better to do,
Yeah,
right?
so
Means if you have important thing, you do important thing. That means our reception is not very important.
No, it's saying that if you're not doing anything.
Yeah, if you have nothing better. If she think this event reception is very important, I will tell you some big news or we have some big event to talk about. She will not say if you have nothing better to do, just come. Just, if you have something to do, you just do your thing. If you just stay, you just come. If you choose to stay at home, you just come. Right? If you have nothing better to do. And if the perspective of spending an evening with a poor, what the invalid?
Invalid is somebody who's kind of like sick in this case, or not able to help themselves.
It's not terrible. So
it's
she's
not too terrible.
Too terrible.
It's not about terrible.
Why?
What does this too mean?
Why she use this word? I don't understand. I feel she is a kind of on a high rank, right? Why she describe herself? Oh, if you come here, if you don't mind, blah blah blah, too terrible. So I don't understand why she think like that.
Well, okay, there are many things you skipped, right? If the prospect, number one, you skipped
If
that.
the prospect means what you hope happening on the reception, right? Prospect.
Okay, if the prospect means like whatever you think spend, or whatever you imagine, or whatever you think spending an evening with somebody may mean, right? The prospect, or the idea of spending, you can think of the future idea of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too terrible. So if you don't think it's too terrible to spend the time with
a
somebody,
poor invalid.
So why say too terrible mean? What does it mean?
Because she said he had a cough, right?
Yeah.
And
why too? TOO.
Too terrible. I don't know. I don't know why she said that.
Well, too here is kind of like comparison, right?
Yeah, compare with who?
Compare with what?
Compare with if she is not ill, she is not sick.
I think just compare in general, right? So saying, if you know, the many terrible things you can do. Okay, the many spending the evening, you can be a completely waste of like time, or it can be a terrible time, whatever, right? If you don't think it's too terrible, means if you don't think it's like going to be very, very bad.
So why she think it's normally it's very bad?
Huh?
Why she think normally the reception is terrible and this time is too terrible?
No, it's not about too terrible. It's more like saying, if you don't think it's going to be too terrible. For example, if suppose I bake a cake, right? I bake a cake for you to eat, right?
Okay.
And then
you will say if you don't.
No. So if I give a cake to eat, and then you eat it, and you go, I ask you, do you like it or not? And he says, it's not too terrible. What do you think that means?
It's bad.
Huh?
It's terrible.
No, it's not too terrible.
It's terrible, just not too terrible.
Right. So it's saying it's not too terrible. Yes. That's right. It's a comparison between terrible, but not too terrible means it's not as terrible, not extremely terrible.
But actually, it's a little bit terrible.
Yeah, but at least it's not too terrible. So, meaning that you still can bear it. Okay, you can still eat it. You can still eat my cake, for example. It's not too terrible. Right?
I shall be very charmed to see you. What does charm mean? Grateful?
No, charmed.
What charm mean?
What does charm mean?
Yeah. So if I say you are very charmed, means you attract people?
Yeah, charm has that kind of idea, right?
Oh, I shall be very charmed to see you. So.
Well, charmed is okay. So if somebody like is charmed, it's kind of like I make you. You look at somebody who is like an actor or actress, right?
Mm.
What's the feeling you get? Like this guy is very famous. What do you feel like when you look at somebody like that? Maybe it's right in front of you.
If the actress is very charmed, means.
No, I didn't say anything about charm. I say how do you feel. I didn't say about
the actress.
Charm. No, you. So somebody famous come next to you. How do you feel?
I feel excited.
Excited? Anything else you can say besides excited?
Unbelievable.
Okay, unbelievable. Okay, anything else?
Honor.
Yeah, okay, could be honor, yeah. So those are all very different feelings than charmed.
So I can say I feel very charmed.
Yeah, but charmed, so we didn't get to the feeling of charmed itself, right? Because you say, oh, it's honored, it's whatever. It's not.
So what does charm mean, actually? It's similar with the meaning with honor?
No. I will be very, in this case, it would be like, you make me feel very nice in some sense.
You make me feel very nice.
Yeah, because if it's basically she's saying, hey, if you're not nothing to do and you don't think it's, and if you come, I'll be very charmed.
I'll be very happy.
Not happy, just charmed. Yeah, I'll be very. I'll feel warm inside. Maybe put it that way.
Grateful?
No, not grateful. Grateful, thankful. I just feel warm inside.
Feel warm. I just feel. So I'm really want you to come to the reception. If you
yes,
come,
I shall be very charmed. Yes.
Oh, to see you tonight. So.
And then look at how she calls herself. What she calls herself.
Calls herself?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Anna. They changed her name. This.
That's what she showed. That's what she wrote herself. Annette Sure.
Annette Sure. That's in the beginning.
Now, can you tell me why she chose that name?
This name make her feel the high rank.
No.
This word has come from French.
It sounds more French. Yes.
Yes, sounds more French. So as she used to do, she always used the French word to describe her illness.
Yes.
Right?
So just think about this. Anna Pavlovna, right?
Yeah,
versus
it's her name.
Annette Sure.
Annette Sure.
They're completely almost like a different language.
Oh yeah.
One is very Russian.
The
other is very non-Russian. So you see how she calls herself that way.
So the letter is using the French words, not the Russian words.
The whole invitation.
And including the name is more.
She made herself sound
more like a French.
Right.
French woman.
Yep. Okay, I think that's probably good for today.
Okay. So today you are better than yesterday because
fine. We'll improve each other.
Right. Cranky. You are not very cranky now.
Great. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.